Poggies my doggies, it is time for a crafting guide, and in today's crafting guide I'm going to be showing you how to craft this Rune Dagger. It's a +2 level of skill gems Rune Dagger for Righteous Fire builds. It's going to cost you about 12 to 16 divines to craft, and it's got a fair bit of RNG. Let me explain the general method of which we're going to go through to craft this. So at the start we're looking at a lot of low risk RNG. It's going to be relatively cheap. It's a lot of alteration orbs to get the +1 all skill gem modifier. Once you have that, then there's a bit of no RNG where we just craft some meta mods to get it ready for the big RNG roll that we're going to do at the end. Now right before we finish the dagger, then we're going to be looking at a 75% chance roll, which can be very expensive. You only got one chance to roll it. If you hit the 25% chance that it fails, you're back to step 1 and you have to go all the way back. Now the cost investment to get up to this point is about 5 or 6 divines. So if you miss that 75% chance and you get 25% chance, then it's going to cost you 6 divines to get back to that point. So it's pretty scary, but 75% chance is, I'm sure it's XCOM level of 75% chance. You know, it'll always go wrong where it can. But just so you know what you're in for, after you hit that 75% chance, there's no more RNG, and we just finish off the craft and we get something really good like this. So if you're still interested, let's move on. So some terminology that I'm going to be using throughout this video, I'm going to be referencing modifiers quite a lot, as well as the term prefixes and suffixes. You can hold Alt over a particular item, and this will show you whether that particular modifier, or the stats on the item, are prefix modifiers or suffix modifiers. It might also be worth noting that a white item has no prefixes and no suffix slots. A magic item, which is blue, can have 1 prefix slot and 1 suffix slot. And a rare item, which is kind of yellow, can have 3 prefix slots and 3 suffix slots. And it is important to know that a prefix slot and a suffix slot can roll different modifiers. So if you want cold resistance, for example, that's always going to be in a suffix slot and can never be rolled in a prefix slot. Now, there's a lot of edge cases in Path of Exile, but there's a great website, www.poedb.tw, that is a great tool to show you what can roll in any particular slot on any particular item, but it's outside the scope of this video. So before we begin, you might be asking me, why are we not using Sceptres? Sceptres have the 40% increased elemental damage on the implicit, which is way better than the Rune Dagger's global critical strike chance, which is of no use to a Righteous Fire player at all. And that's true. Now the reason we're using Rune Daggers is because we want to get +2 level to skill gems, and that is guaranteed to roll on a Rune Dagger later on in the craft. Whereas Sceptres, they have an extra prefix modifier which we can't block, so it'll just show up. So when we get to the point in the craft where we're trying to get +1 level to all fire skill gems, increased fire damage is going to pop up on a scepter, and if we get that, then it ruins the entire craft, and it's going to cost us about 6 divines to try again. And it's about a 1 in 10 chance for +1 level of fire skill gems to appear on a scepter, whereas on a Rune Dagger it's guaranteed. Now doing the maths, it is a lot better for your DPS if you use a Rune Dagger with +2 level of skill gems than it is a scepter with +1 to fire level of skill gems and the 40% increased elemental damage. So that's why we're using Rune Daggers, because its DPS works out better and it's guaranteed to get the +2 level of skill gems, whereas a scepter is significantly harder. It turns a Rune Dagger's 15 divine craft into about 100 divine craft for a scepter. So that's why we're using Rune Daggers. Let's get on to the craft. So to start with, we need to get our Rune Dagger base. Now make sure that it is a Rune Dagger that you're going to get and not just a normal dagger, because the rolls are different. It doesn't matter what type of Rune Dagger you get, whether it's 50% increased or 30% increased, because global critical strike chance has no use for a Righteous Fire build. Just make sure that it's item level 82 so we can get a tier 1 damage over time multiplier as fractured. So you want to make sure that your Rune Dagger has a fractured modifier on it. Fractured modifiers have this specific color, and it's a prefix or a suffix that is permanently on the item and can't be changed by crafting. So we're looking for plus to percentage to damage over time multiplier. Okay, now on the trade website, which I'll show you how to trade for this very shortly, you can get 20% for about 20 chaos. I wouldn't recommend doing this because this craft is quite expensive, so you might as well not cheap out at the very start. 23% is about 1 divine, and 26% is about 6 divine, which is honestly most of the cost of this build. I'll now show you how to trade for this on the website. So a short demonstration on how to search for your fractured Rune Dagger. In item category, type in Rune Dagger. We want to make sure it's not a normal dagger. In stats, we're looking for damage over time multiplier. This one, to damage over time multiplier. Click it, and then click it again and scroll down until you see it's fractured. And we can put a minimum that we'd like to see, so something like 24%. And then in miscellaneous, we'll just add in item level minimum 82, so we won't get tricked and accidentally buy one that's a good deal that's lower than the item level we want. Okay, so the lowest price is 24% to damage over time multiplier Rune Dagger, item level 85, 3.5 divines, not bad. Then, you know, 4 divines. We can actually click the modifier and this will put it in reverse order. So the highest stat modifier, 26%, and it will go for the lowest price, and then the price will increase. So 7 divines for this, for the top tier one. That's up to you. That's how you search for Rune Daggers. So once you've got your Rune Dagger at item level 82 minimum and a fractured modifier, percentage to damage over time multiplier, we need to do the most painful thing, which is we're going to be using a lot of alteration orbs in an attempt to get +1 level of all spell skill gems. You're going to have to use about 1,500 of these, maybe even 3,000, depending on how unlucky you get. Sometimes when you use it on a fractured item, it looks like you didn't do anything, and that's because it hit the suffix modifier, and that means now you can use an augmentation orb to get the prefix modifier. It is quite annoying to switch between the two currencies. You don't have to, you can just keep using alteration orbs, but it's going to take more alteration orbs if you don't use augmentation orbs when possible. Don't forget, you can hold down shift to keep using that orb. Be careful not to roll over it. You can always type level of all within the search bar to make sure it highlights when you hit something like that. Are you still sane, Exile? Hopefully now you've got your +1 level of all spell skill gems on your item. Unfortunately, your item is magic, so we need to upgrade it to rare. We'll use a Regal Orb. This will turn it into a rare item, and it will also give it one more modifier. And there's 3 outcomes to this. It will give us a suffix modifier, it will give us a prefix modifier with a caster tag, or it will give us a prefix modifier without a caster tag. Let's go through these options now. If it hits a suffix, great. We'll just craft prefixes cannot be changed and use a scouring orb, and it'll leave it as a rare item with +1 level of all spell skill gems. However, if it hits a prefix with a caster tag, then we're in trouble. You can tell if it's got a caster tag if you hold Alt over the item. It'll say something like, for this example, prefix modifier tier 2, and then it's got the tags damage, elemental, cold, and caster. And because it's got caster, there's not much we can do. The only thing we can do is use an orb of annulment to get rid of one prefix, and it's a 50-50 chance. It'll hit the one that we just put on, or it will hit the +1 level of all spell skill gems. If it hits that, unfortunately you've got to scour the item to make it magic, go back to hitting and rolling alteration orbs to try and get +1 level of all spell skill gems again. That's just unfortunate. Alternatively, if it hits a prefix without a caster tag, again, hold Alt over the item. Here I got mana, so it's prefix modifier tier 12, has the mana tag, so it does not have caster. What we can do is craft cannot roll caster modifiers and then use an annulment orb. Now, because it can hit anything that's not got a caster tag, it can hit my mana, or it can hit the thing that says cannot roll caster modifiers. If it hits the thing that says cannot roll caster modifiers, I'll have to craft it again and then use another orb and keep doing it until we hit the mana, because our +1 level of all spell skill gems is safe, because that does have the caster tag. So now you should have a Rune Dagger, which has a +1 level of all spell skill gems and a fractured damage over time multiplier, which is rare, which means we can now craft some extra stuff on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to craft a couple of things, and we're going to block a couple of things that we don't want to appear later, and this will guarantee us the +1 level of all fire spell skill gems later on. So in order, we're going to craft at our crafting bench, can have up to 3 crafted modifiers, which is a suffix and costs 2 divines. Then we're going to craft cannot roll attack modifiers, which is a suffix and costs 1 divine. And then we're going to craft adds number to number fire damage to spells, which is a prefix. And this is not going to cost anything important. In fact, you can choose the weakest tier of this. We're just putting it on the item to block it so we can't get it again. Now, if there's any of these crafting options you don't have, you can search on the internet how to get them. I believe they're from unique maps. You have to complete a unique map and you'll get these particular crafting options if you don't already have them. So from here we go to our harvest crafting station, and we're going to craft add a new fire modifier and remove another random modifier from a non-influenced item. This is going to cost you 15,000 wild crystallized life force and 1 sacred crystallized life force. Use that price to guarantee that you're choosing the correct option, and this is going to guarantee us +1 level of all fire spell skill gems. The problem with this is that we've got a 75% chance to hit the crafted modifiers that we just put on, but we've got a 25% chance that it'll hit level of all spell skill gems. Because we didn't have the room to protect it, it's got a 25% chance it can hit the one that we don't want it to hit. If it hits one of the crafted ones, then we're good and the craft is basically finished. However, if it hits the +1 level of all spell skill gems and overwrites that with the +1 level of all fire spell skill gems, then unfortunately the craft is ruined and you have to go back to step 1. So it's a 75% chance to hit something good and 25% chance to hit the bad option. Good luck. So hopefully you hit the 75% chance roll, and we should now have a Rune Dagger with +2 level of spell skill gems, and we're just going to finish up the craft now. So first thing we need to do is go to our crafting bench, and we need to craft remove crafted modifiers suffix. Then we have to craft can have up to 3 crafted modifiers suffix, which costs 2 divines. Then we craft percentage to fire damage over time multiplier suffix. And then we craft percentage increased fire damage, percentage chance to ignite prefix. Hopefully you get good rolls on that, and then the craft is finished. So don't forget there are some extras that you can do with weapons. So normally quality doesn't do anything for the weapon that as a Righteous Fire player we care about. However, we can get 30% quality by using a tier 4 hillock in Syndicate to get 30% weapon quality, and then combine that with a Harvest Benchcraft Enchant, which is quality does not increase physical damage, but instead grants 1% increased elemental damage per 2% quality. And because we get 30% quality with Hillock, that is 15% increased elemental damage, which is not too bad. That's an option if you want to go that route. So if you're not entirely sure what a tier 4 Hillock craft is, it's outside the scope of this video, but I'll give you a brief rundown. It comes from the Syndicate mechanic. You can search online for Syndicate cheat sheet, which tells you all the different characters that can appear and what they offer you when you get them into certain spots: transportation, fortification, research, intervention. In brief, if you want a tier 4 Hillock, you need Hillock as a leader in transportation. He needs to be 3 stars, and then you need to defeat the final boss at the top, which is not the small safe house he's in, but the big question mark at the top. And she'll offer you a tier 4 Hillock weapon quality craft, or it can be purchased from certain services online. So can I say thank you very much for watching. Feedback is appreciated. I will now put at the end of the video an edited version, because it took me like 4 hours to craft this, of me crafting this in game, and I got unlucky at certain points, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. Good luck if you choose to craft it, and thank you again for watching. Alright, let's video game. Let's game it up.
I must have time to gather
Alright.
my will.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome. We're going to craft this Rune Dagger. Okay? This Rune Dagger, this Righteous Fire Rune Dagger. Now, this cost me 5 divines. And the reason it costs 5 is because it's 30% increased global critical strike chance implicit, rather than 40 or 50. But as a Righteous Fire, you really don't care. Who's stream am I talking to? This is to YouTube, guys, right? So we've got to use alterations and augmentations if you care to get the +1 level of all skill gems. So let's do this. I've got a lot of... It's going to cost like 1,500, so... Yeah, good luck. It's going to be a slow time. It's going to be real slow. Oh my word, it takes a long time, but... So this is all going to get cut. This is where I can slob around again now, because no one's going to watch this shit. You know? Right, unless I get it real quick, and then I gotta like... Damn. How to kill your viewership in one easy step. Got a permanent weird on my face. Chaos. Chaos. Quick, all my ghost noises are coming out. Oh. Doing the voice acting for Phasmophobia while I'm rolling. Oh. What are you talking about? Holy shit! Did you fucking nearly... Oh my god, it's a Rune Dagger, brother. Right? You can get it on a Rune Dagger. Fucking hell, you nearly scared the shit out of me. Like, you've been rolling on this and it's just a dagger. What the fuck? I don't know. 1,000. Oh, don't touch. Oh my god. Oh my god, how long did that take? 10 chaos per 90 chaos. So were you here? Were you here? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Were you here? Was Stover still around? Did he make it? Or not? Did he make it? Just as you say you're about to get paid, you don't get paid. I ain't paying you no more. Although, we've still got a 1 in 4 chance that this will mess up. Basically, we've got a 1 in 4. Where's the Regal Orbs? I've lost them. Here they are. All right, Regal. Bam. We got a prefix. Okay. Shh. Okay. Worst. Really bad, right? If we'd have got a prefix, it's safe. If we'd got a suffix that didn't have caster modifier, we would have been safe. But now we've got a prefix that has caster, I can't use the way, like... If the other prefix didn't have caster modifier, so only the +1 all spell skill gems would, I would have been able to do... Cannot roll caster modifiers, and then a null, and then it's 50-50 between whether it hits the one that didn't have caster or the modifier. And I may have to put it on again, but at least the +1 is safe. Now the +1 is not safe, right? Because they both got caster, so I can't use that method. And there's no other way to get rid of this prefix. So I have to just 50-50 it. I'm about to cry. But, you know what? I ain't no bitch. I ain't no bitch. Annul. 50-50 the annul. Are you ready, guys? Here we go. Bam! Oh, I fucking pressed it, but it... Oh, don't do that to me. That hurt my soul, that did. That hurt my soul to press the button. I pressed it and my null wasn't there because I pressed shift and alt. Okay. Are you ready? Right. I ain't no bitch though. This is fine. It's gonna hit the one we want. Bam. Right. Okay. Let's play something else for a bit. Let's play something else for a bit. I didn't even question it, Moo. Just go straight there. That did you're walking around. What? The brain. 14 left. That almost basically not then. Even though those 14 have got the same chance as any of the 14. Right, gone. Oh my god. Alright, we got it. We got it! Ba, 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 ba. Guess you didn't expect that. Only took me like another 30, 50 alterations. Okay, we got it. +1 level of all skill gems. Took me about 2,500 to get it the second time. We got a Regal, and as I may have mentioned on stream just a second ago, there's 3 things that can happen with this Regal. I hit a suffix, in which case we're fine. We craft, prefixes can't be changed, and scour, and we're done. If it hits a prefix, there's 2 options. Prefix that it hits without a caster modifier is great. We do cannot modify caster modifiers, and then we annul and try and just get it off, and it's safe. If we prefix and the new modifier that we get does have caster modifier, then we just have to use an annulment orb. So Regal Orb, where are you? Alright, bash. Prefix. Okay, its prefix is scary, but it doesn't have caster. Right, so it's only got damage, physical, and attack modifiers, this new one. So we're actually safe. It might even be cheaper this way, depending on how it goes. So, because it's a prefix, we can't do suffixes, you know, we can't say prefixes can't be changed, so we do this instead. We go to a suffix, and we go to cannot roll caster modifiers, because +1 level of all skill gems has a caster modifier tag on it, so we can't hit that with whatever we do, but we can hit the other one. So it's only 1 divine, which is cheaper. So we craft that on, and now we can do a null. I'm gonna grab like all 10. The reason being is because this annulment orb, it can't hit the fractured modifier, and it can't hit +1 level of all skill gems because it's got the caster, but it can hit the new modifier physical damage one, and it can hit the one that we just put on. So bosh. Okay, so it could have hit cannot roll caster modifiers, which means I'd have to put it on, but we got it good. We got it good. Let's put those away before we accidentally annul the rest of the item. Right, so we got a rare item with 26% damage over time, +1 level of all skill gems. At this point we have to do some meta mods into a harvest craft. We've still got a 1 in 4 chance it'll fuck up. Back to step 1. 1 in 4 chance for it to be bad. Even if I wasn't recording, I can get it from the VOD, but I was recording. Right, so what we do is we can have up to 3 crafted modifiers. This costs 2 divines, and it's going to get rid of the other crafted one that I've got on there. So replace that. Bam. We then do cannot roll attack modifiers, which will eliminate some of the options because we want to just get +1 to all fire. So cannot roll attack modifiers gets rid of some options that we can get, and then we do a prefix which gets rid of the last option, which is fire damage to spells, and this can be the weakest version. I don't have any of those. Okay, so I'll do tier 2. Okay, so now we've eliminated all options. There's only one thing the Harvest Craft can get, and that's +1 to level of all fire skill gems. However, we haven't protected the +1 level of all spell skill gems. So when we roll it, it's got a 1 in 4 chance to take over the +1 level of all spell skill gems, and it's got a 3 out of 4 chance to hit cannot roll attack modifiers, can have up to 3 crafted modifiers, or fire damage to spells. So it's a 1 in 4 that we screw up, and it's a 3 in 4 that we're good. If we screw up, it's back to step 1, which I've already done twice, and I surely hope that doesn't happen again, because I will cry. But this is the risk, right? It's nice that most of the cost was... I spent maybe like 1.5 divines on alteration orbs, because I've had one failure and 1 current in progress. So I've probably spent, what, like 4,000 alteration orbs, and they're about 2,000 for a divine, so... I had some myself, but you get the point. Okay, what are we crafting here? It is fire. Right, and I believe it's this one. The most expensive one. Add a new fire modifier and remove another random modifier. Right? That's going to add on fire to a prefix, and then it will remove one other one. So it could remove one of... Is there any sort of praying or anything? Can we do... Are there any sort of good luck skills that you guys would recommend? So, we're going to press the button. We've got 3 in 4 chance it's good, and a 1 in 4 chance I have to start again. Alright? In a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Pressed. And now, I really should have done the countdown for hovering over the item. So, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, fight! Did you see it? I saw something, but I didn't see anything. Fight! Fight! I think I hit it. Yes! I saw the 2 like bright teal colors, and I only saw 2 teal, so I hit it. It got rid of cannot roll attack modifiers, so we got it. Now it's done. Thank God. Right. The next thing we do is we finish it off.
Nice.
Nice. We finish it off. We finish it off with... we want that, but we have to get rid of it somehow. There's a way to get rid of crafted modifiers. You got to do it on the crafting bench, and it costs 1 scour. There, remove crafted mods. Do not use a scour manually, or you fuck it up. So we'll just do that. Remove crafted mods. There we go. And then camo up to 3 crafted modifiers. Bam. 2 divines. And we've got 1 prefix and 1 suffix. So I think due to my my testing, fire damage over time multiplier, and you got to hope for a high number, 18 to 20. It doesn't, not too bad here, but I got 19%, which is not bad. Now this one you want a nice big number. It's fire damage and chance to ignite. Increase fire damage 60%, 20% chance to ignite is the highest thing you can do. So we're hoping for 60%. You can't just keep re-rolling it as if it was like 1 crafted modifier. You have to craft kind of 3 crafted modifiers again. So hopefully we get a good number. 58, that's good. That's a high number. And 20% chance to ignite, whether that's useful or not. Righteous fire. Okay, that's good. That is a weapon that exists. A powerful one.
I must have
how much did I spend on that? I spent 5 on the base. About 1.5 divines rolling alterations because I had bad luck. About 1 if I had good luck. Then I had 1 for that. Then I had for cannot roll modifier, caster modifiers. Then I did a 2, 3, another 2. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 12 I think I rolled on this. I rolled, it cost me about 12 divines to craft this. I had some unluck, but the unluck was Alteration Orb. So we didn't have to spend kind of up to 3 crafted modifiers. So we didn't spend like 2 divines plus another divine and then do the 1 in 4 and then lose, in which case we would have lost out on like 3 to 4 divines and go back to square one. So my back to square one was just for alterations, which is mental health and about 1 divine because I got unlucky again, 2000-ish. Alright, I'm going to put on Enchant a Weapon. Quality does not increase its physical damage, grants 1% increased elemental damage per 2%. It's only 20% quality. I'm going to push it to 30 in a minute. But we'll put that on, 5,000. So that means none of the numbers have changed, but you are going to get more elemental damage when you equip it, so it's better. Let me just purchase the thing. Should I put it in-game name? Octozoom. Octodoom. Is it Doom or Zoom? Oxo. Oh my god. Octodoom. Was he trusted? Oh god, it's so fast paced. It's so fast paced that you don't actually get time to read stuff. Like, I think I've already wasted too much fucking time here. Oh wait, apparently not. Can I go into his hideout? So what do? Do I have to go inside? Yeah, of course I go inside. I've never done this before. I go inside, I give him the weapon, he does it, then he gives me the weapon and I give him the money. Seems very one-sided, but I guess you'd have to trust. He's a trusted seller. Where is the nerd? Down there. Poggies, my doggies. 30%, yeah. That's the one, baby. Thank you. So I could have done... So I've got this. I could have regaled it before I even started alteration. Bam. Doesn't matter what I get. If I get +1... There's a chance you can get +1 to all spell when you regal. And then you could have done fossils. Perfect. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, that cost me a few, and then you just scour it. And now you've got a 30% quality, ready to alteration. And then, you know, you do the process. So you could have done that to get 30 quality, or you can spend 1 divine for a certain quality after the fact. And then you do the harvest thing, which gives it the extra thing later. Yeah. Okay, so we've got an item here that I think is great. By spending that little bit of extra money, which was about 1.5 divines, right? Because it was 1 divine for the 30% and about 5,000 juice, which is about half a divine for the enchant. And that's bumped it up another, what, 10 divines? So this should be... We should be looking at a lot of money now, right? 28 divines, 34 divines, something like that.
Thank you, Aaron Stone 8, for resubscribing for 5 months.
Well, Bernard, that says you got a nice ass. Thanks, man. So 56. Mine's better than that. It's got 1% less that, 2% more that. Everything else is the same, and it's 34. So mine's about 34, right? Was that the same as it was before? 60%. 45. Like